Wraith of Injustice by Sarah J. Nilsson. This is the true story surrounding the death of Heidi Sue Dowland, born November 18, 1980, and tragically killed in a plane crash on January 13, 2019. Wraith of Injustice portrays the haunting and destructive consequences of injustice in the aftermath of the death of Heidi Sue Dowland. A wraith is a ghost that persists. Episode 1, Mayor of Meadview. Heidi Sue Dowland was born on November 18, 1980. To parents Jack and Sue Ellen Morgan. Heidi had an older sister named Hannah. Heidi grew up in the Bullhead City and Fort Mojave areas in Arizona. She graduated from Mojave High School in 1999. During her high school years, she was a cheerleader and was voted as homecoming queen during her freshman year. During the early 1980s, Heidi and her family moved to Prescott Valley in Arizona. Heidi grew up to become a devoted mother of 3 children. Maya Devine was 19 at the time of Heidi's death. Logan Dowland was 17, and Dustin Dowland was only 12 at the time. Heidi and her older sister Hannah were really close. They tried to be in contact with each other every day. Their families got together for regular events, such as Taco Tuesdays and Karaoke Thursdays. Before Heidi's death, they had all traveled together to Mexico. Heidi was also very close with her mother, Sue Ellen, who also lived in Prescott Valley back then. According to Hannah, the 3 of them were like the 3 amigos. Heidi owned Prescott Med Spa in Prescott Valley for several years prior to her death. She formed her company, a corporation, in August of 2016 with Amy Wilson. Since her demise, Prescott Med Spa, Inc. has become an inactive entity. Her older sister, Hannah, had these words to say. Heidi had an outgoing personality and sense of humor. She was an amazing person with a huge heart, a huge smile, and always had tons of friends. She lived life to the fullest. During the 3.5 years preceding her death, Heidi was in a relationship with Christopher Adam Anderson. FAA records show that Anderson had started taking flying lessons and had obtained a combined student pilot certificate and third-class medical on January 8, 2014. In a statement made by Heidi's sister Hannah to the NTSB following the crash, Anderson routinely borrowed this aircraft from a certain Timothy Henriksen, who kept it hangared at Prescott Airport. This is a 1958 Piper Tri-Pacer, PA 22-160. It's a high-wing aircraft with tricycle landing gear. FAA records list it as having 2 seats and a max gross weight of 2,000 pounds. Heidi, Hannah, and her 12-year-old nephew, even Anderson's own infant grandchildren, were among those who Anderson took flying on multiple occasions between 2014 and 2019. Despite the fact that the FAA does not allow a student pilot to carry passengers, here's footage of what Hannah called a normal practice for them. Sometime in 2018, Heidi sold a home she had owned and used the cash to purchase this aircraft for Anderson. Heidi was not a pilot, and she didn't insure the aircraft. FAA records show a transfer of sale on October 30, 2018, from Henriksen to Heidi Dowland. Or was it Anderson? The original name is scratched out. This sold notice shows Beechit LLC, a company owned by Tim Henriksen and his wife Dawn. Hannah recalls one such flight with Heidi and Anderson on December 15 of 2018, in which they flew from Prescott to Meadview, Arizona, for a Christmas party. Meadview is an unincorporated community in Arizona, where Lake Mead meets the Grand Canyon. Originally founded as a retirement community, but heavily used as a vacation spot for people coming to enjoy Lake Mead. You typically get there via Pierce Ferry Road, unless you fly in, as Anderson did routinely. Pierce Ferry Airport, known to us pilots as Lima 25, is a public-use airport in Mojave County, owned by the National Park Service. It is located just 3.5 miles north of the central business district of Meadview. And it's here that Anderson flew Hannah and Heidi on December 15, 2018, as the following video will show. What is striking about the flight, besides the fact that Anderson, a student pilot, is carrying passengers contrary to FAA regulations, is the fact that Hannah told the NTSB that, and I quote, there was a lawn chair type arrangement fitted in the back seat that was held in place by a cargo strap, in lieu of a properly installed back seat. Anderson had told her to sit there. The rear seat belt would not fit over the short beach chair, so she was unrestrained throughout the flight. Beside obviously being unsafe for Hannah, it also violated several FAA regulations. The aircraft did have seat belts installed for rear seat passengers, even though no seats were installed. Hannah mentioned that although shoulder harnesses were installed in the aircraft, in all the times they flew together with Anderson, she had never witnessed them being used. Here's more footage. Nevertheless, they all made it safely to Pierce Ferry Airport right before sundown that Saturday evening, and attended the Christmas party at Fisherman's Landing Bar. After the party, the three of them, Anderson, Heidi, and Hannah, spent the night at Heidi's home in Meadview. The following morning, they flew back to Prescott Airport, where they parked the aircraft back in its hangar. Heidi spent a great deal of time in the small community of Meadview. She knew everybody there. Her sister Hannah said they called her the mayor of Meadview. In a statement made to the NTSB by Dr. Robin Sabata, manager of Prescott Airport in 2019, she states, "At some point prior to Christmas, an individual named Kevin had called the airport to notify them that Anderson was not a licensed pilot. Kevin expressed concern that Anderson would injure or kill someone and that the airport should intervene. He was told he needed the aircraft type or N number and should call the FAA because it was not the responsibility of the airport." On December 31st, 2018, the FAA mailed Heidi a deregistration letter, notifying her that the aircraft she bought Anderson in October was never registered with the FAA. Heidi, not being a pilot, likely did not know this. However, Anderson, even though only a student pilot, should have known. As a side note, the state of Arizona also requires aircraft registration. Fast forward now to January 12, 2019, the day before the plane crash that killed Heidi Dowland. Heidi and Anderson took off from Prescott Airport around noon. Their destination, none other than Pierce Ferry Airport in Meadview. They landed around 3 p.m. that Saturday afternoon. A friend named Eric picked them up and took them to Heidi's house so they could get ready to attend Chuck's surprise 70th birthday party at Fisherman's Landing Bar. They partied till about 1:30 a.m. the next morning, Sunday, January 13, the day of the plane crash. This would be Heidi's last day on Earth. Stay tuned for episode 2, Plane Crash in Hualapai, and find out what happened to Heidi Dowland.